Oh my god.
Programmet presenteras av betsafe.com.
Now when I was a little boy, at the age of 5, I had something in my pocket, keeps a lot of folks alive.
Mustak here from MMAnytt and StudioMMA. We have no less than Eddie Bravo here.
How you doing? Thank you for having me. Are we doing this in English?
We are doing this in English.
Okay.
We'll try anyway.
You want to speak in Swedish?
We could do Swedish. It's easy.
Vad gör du här i Sverige? Exactly. Why do you come to Sweden so often? What's your connections to Sweden?
I have a school out here, an affiliate, 10th Planet Stockholm, run by Magnus Hansen. And I think this is the 4th time I've been out here teaching seminars to the lovely Swedish people.
How come Sweden?
You know what? I don't choose where I teach my seminars. They choose me. So, I don't show up to a city and start looking for someone to run a school there. That'll never work. The only way, the only chance for survival for a 10th Planet affiliate is people have to come to me. That has to be their mission in life, to be a 10th Planet affiliate. And, you need some extreme enthusiasm to make it work. If you don't, if you're like, 10th Planet, let's try it out, it'll never work. You got to be hardcore 10th Planet. And so I don't choose where my schools go. People always twit me and ask me, how about a school in New Orleans? What about a school in Wisconsin? What about a school in Ireland? Like, I can't choose. You have to choose me.
I forgot to introduce for the English viewers to your left, Omar Bouiche, and pancrase fighter from Japan.
Beautiful.
You want to introduce yourself any further?
Not really. I want how to Eddie speak.
It seems like you have a lot of fans here in Sweden. I mean, I saw your seminar today. It was like 80 people, 70 people?
That's a lot.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Europe is like for metal, and for instance, in the United States, metal's dead, and even in California, but in Europe, metal has never died. It's huge. So that's, that kind of shows how loyal and hardcore the European fans are. Once they're into you, they never waver. They stick with you forever.
What do you think about the level in Sweden? Jiu-jitsu level?
I think the open-mindedness is at a high level.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly how the Swedes would stack up against anybody else, but it has nothing to do with genetics or anything, generally. I think, a lot of the European countries and a lot of the African countries, they just are, there's not too much jiu-jitsu to choose from. And some countries don't have any jiu-jitsu, I guess. So it's just once you grow up with jiu-jitsu, I'm sure people from Sweden are going to be, just as will have a chance to be at the top, just like any other country.
In which countries do you have 10th Planets?
Australia, Canada, Korea, Sweden, England. Got 2 in England. US a bunch, and Canada a bunch. Mexico.
Oh, that's cool.
We have a hot box in Colombia. They're working on affiliation. Bulgaria.
Shit, I'm counting them.
Germany, Hamburg.
12.
The Congo.
Congo?
No, I'm kidding.
God damn, that's hardcore. That would be the shit.
Yeah, it's in a cave.
Then you have in Afghanistan too, right?
Not quite yet. I think that's about it. We have a guy in India who's down, but I don't know how that's going to work out. But there's a guy in India showing interest. Singapore, there's interest. New Zealand, forgot about them.
How does it work? Is it like franchise?
Yes, you get certified. You prove that you know the system well, and you prove that you're hardcore, and you pass a test, a certification test, and then you're part of the team.
So Magnus Hansson, he done all that.
Yes. Magnus is one of those rare guys that's a black belt already in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Generally, most of my guys aren't even black belts in 10th Planet. They're like, purple belts. And I got a lot of affiliates that are running as purple belts or blue belts even. And it's hard. It's hard. But Magnus is already a legit black belt. So black belt is the only belt that doesn't transfer over to 10th Planet. Like if you want a black belt in 10th Planet, you're gonna be a brown belt in 10th Planet. Like he's a brown belt. And ultimately, he'll get his black belt.
So what's the big difference from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu old school and what you're doing?
Well, I'm doing a pure no-gi style, so there's a big difference. It's the same difference between Greco-Roman and Judo. One has a gi, one doesn't. Yeah. Big difference.
What's the goal with 10th Planet? What did you want to achieve when you started 10th Planet? Is this more than you dreamed about?
Yes, I never thought it'd get this big. I didn't know what to expect.
Did you do like everybody else, started in a garage, and now we have it in 15 countries?
No, I actually started in a little kickboxing gym. I started.
Oh.
It was like a tiny little school, and then kind of grew out of it. And now 30 plus schools later, it's out of control.
Where do you think the future is for your kind of BJJ?
I just want to continue growing, continue evolving, and continue to have an open mind, and prove that in MMA, in the UFC, the biggest show, prove that 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu is the best Jiu-Jitsu for MMA. That's the goal, to prove it.
I gotta ask something. I saw this Japanese guy, Imanari, fought.
Yes.
Does he train with you?
No, but he trained. He does a lot of rubber guard stuff.
Okay.
Imanari is very good at the rubber guard. Yeah. He's one of the best actually at the rubber guard. It's so tight. He executes it so well. His training partner is Shinya Aoki.
Okay.
And Shinya Aoki learned the rubber guard from me, and I'm sure Imanari is just learning from him.
He's incredible also. I was like, wow, he has to train with that dude somebody. It was like,
yeah.
Really
Imanari is very good. I mean, he's known for his leg locks.
Yeah.
He's already dangerous with that. Then you throw rubber guard on top of that. You got to worry about a lot when you're going against Imanari now.
So you want no-gi BJJ taking over UFC fighting style? Or the BJ part?
I just, I'm just going to keep pushing, and it's like a game to me. It's all fun. We're just playing a game, the game of life. And let's see how, because to me, no one has to prove it to me that the rubber guard is the best guard for MMA. I know it's a fact, but I understand why people doubt it. But it's fun, Not just trying to it's like getting weed legalized in the United States. We know weed is amazing. We know it is, but still there's a lot of resistance. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then state by state, knocking it down, state by state. Same thing with MMA. We all knew, like the mainstream didn't acknowledge the power of MMA, but the hardcore fans that knew, like we know it's the best sport. And even though there was people out there didn't think so, we were just like, well, you don't think so because you just don't know yet. But you will know. You'll see. And the hardcore MMA kept it alive because we knew how great it was. But overall, the world didn't give a fuck about MMA, But so slowly they had to prove themselves, and now look at the UFC, it's out of control. And I think once people realize how effective the rubber guard is, they just haven't realized it yet, And for an MMA fighter to train the rubber guard, they have to add new training now, They already got so much to do with their wrestling, their striking, and their strength and conditioning. They got their weeks booked. To add rubber guard to your game, you're going to have to spend at least an hour a week drilling it, practicing it, or you'll never get to the point where you could just use it in your sparring. Because right now, a lot of MMA fighters, their jiu-jitsu is just rolling and with some punches, and not too much hardcore stockpiling of weapons. There's not too many fighters consciously writing down the moves they want, timing it all out when they're going to pop out in the game, and putting in the numbers and the reps. Go, I want this transition. I want this submission. I want the Marcellatine. I want the rolling Kimura. I want this. There's nobody really doing that. Like, just stockpiling it, writing it all down, and charting their progress. No one's doing that. People are just grappling with punches and light drilling every now and then, but no one's putting in massive numbers with drills in the UFC, in the MMA, because there's so much shit to practice. Damn, they're like, you know what? They're like, I'm not gonna fuck the rubber guard. Let me work on my striking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it makes sense. So just like all the kicks, like all the fancy kicks, like karate kicks and taekwondo kicks, and all those kicks that we thought were useless, all of those. Look at us now. Everyone's practicing them now. Yeah. Kung Lee proves that those kicks are valuable.
I gotta interrupt you. We gotta go to a commercial, and we'll come back with the kicks.
Now
Okay.
when I was a little boy, at the age of 5, I had something in my pocket, keeps a lot of folks alive.
Programmet presenteras av Betsafe.com.